Today I will show you our new static analyzed code risks feature. I will demonstrate how Sprkl integrates with SAST tools. Sprkl leverages a generated SARIF file and instruments the risk discovered with the tool. In this video, I will use the Semgrep tool. Semgrep is an open source static analysis tool for detecting vulnerabilities. For the demonstration, I'm going to use a sample e-commerce store with few running services. To see the feature in action, we need to make some code changes. The first change I will make is to create a new endpoint at /user metrics on the metric service. When a request is made to the new endpoint with the username parameter in the query, a response will be received containing the metrics and the username that was used in the request query. The second change is to make a request to the new endpoint we created in the order service code. Now, as you can see, when there is a new order in the example store, there is going to be a request to /user metrics. Now let's perform a static analysis on the project with Semgrep CLI and generate a SARIF file. The command we are running is semgrep scan with auto configuration, and we only include JavaScript and TypeScript files. We will use the SARIF flag and export it to risks.json. Now, you need to provide the SARIF file you just generated to the Sprkl CLI. It is recommended to use the flag SARIF source root to provide the path from which the static analysis was executed. Note that if this is not provided, Sprkl will try to resolve it on its own. Now, as you can see, the example store is running. Let's look at the Sprkl dashboard to see our source code risks. The source code risks are located under the security section. The risks are divided into two categories, scanned and triggered. The scanned category includes risks detected in the code but have not yet been triggered during runtime. The triggered category includes risks that were executed during runtime. In the scanned category, we have two tabs. The first one is scanned and instrumented, which includes instrumented risks. The second one is scanned but not instrumented, which includes scanned risks that were not instrumented due to some limitations. For every risk, you can see the risk name and its location in the code. When hovering over a risk, you will see a short risk summary. By clicking on the slot icon, you will be directed to the risk's code block. As you can see, we have a direct response write risk, which was scanned in the code of the endpoint we created on the metric service. We can hover over the risk name to understand what the risk means. This specific risk means that we write user-defined input directly on the response, and it exposes our application to cross-site scripting attack. Now, let's make an order in the example store and see if this risk triggered during runtime. As you can see, the direct response write risk moved to the triggered category, which means it was executed during runtime. For every triggered risk, there is a list of its triggers. A trigger is either an API call or an executed code block that caused the risk execution. This risk has two triggers. The code block we added earlier in the service of the orders. The other trigger is an API call to /user metrics. In the personal view, we will see only executed code block triggers. And in the global view, we will see also API call triggers. By clicking the slot icon next to the code block trigger, you will be directed to the trigger's code block. By clicking the compass button next to each trigger, you will be directed to the related span of the trigger, and in the same trace, you will see the risk-related span. Now, let's fix the risk to prevent cross-site scripting attack. To prevent the attack, we can sanitize the user-defined input before writing it in the response. To do that, we will use the access package to sanitize the input. Before writing in the response the user-defined input, we will use the filter function from the access package. Now, let's run Semgrep and Sprkl again to see if we fixed the vulnerability. As you can see in the dashboard, the risk direct response right no longer exists. Thank you very much for listening.